Prejudice, of course. What else?
Bad attitude.
Bad attitude.
You don't participate.
You don't participate.
You do not interact.
You don't interact. So can you have communication?
No. Oh, maybe, but not a good one.
No, not a good one. So you have the breakdown of communication.
Confident.
You are not confident. So as a result, learning is not effective. I can memorize verbs, I can memorize conjugations, but am I learning? Not really. And the final result would be discrimination. And don't tell me that you haven't faced discrimination in the classroom, because it is a reality.
Yes.
Of course. Maybe you cannot say, oh, but I accept students from all religions and from all races. Yes. But what happens, for example, when we have a student that thinks differently from the others? He is isolated in the classroom. Yes? And how can we promote the integration? How can we promote the respect? That's what we are going to check during this workshop. Is there a solution? Oh, yes. What can we do? We can work as institutions. We know that. We have this kind of national centers. We can work in academic networks, but the important part is what teachers and language learners can do. We can work on respect, that is the basic part of it. How can we promote respect in the classroom? How is the first step to promote respect in the classroom?
Showing respect.
Exactly. If you are respectful, that's the first step to promote respect in the classroom. If you work with me yesterday, remember that I told you the first tool that you need as a teacher is respect. If you do not respect your students, okay, change profession. Tolerance. But tolerance is not do whatever you want. I'm tolerant. That's not tolerance. It means
To try to understand the other.
to try to understand, to be empathic, to build bridges between me and the other. Knowledge. How can I understand and promote tolerance with the other if I don't know their circumstances? That's very common with people working with kids, no? That they say, okay, this is a problematic kid.
Why?
What's behind that? We have the label, problematic kid, but what's behind that? Fortunately, our schools are promoting that, knowing our students. Real and effective communication. Okay, you can say, but we are teaching languages. Languages are for communicating, right? And do we really have real and effective communication in the classroom?
Not always.
Not always. You can say, I promote communication and I promote dialogue. For example, when I finish my explanations, I always say, did you understand? And all my students say, yes. Okay, is that effective and real communication?
No, we have to practice, to check.
Exactly. We have to know if they are able to communicate, to exchange, really, opinions, feelings, facts, etc. So, that's why we promote intercultural communication. That is the people, communication is between the people and how they interact among them according to the culture they belong to. And it implies check gender, sexualities, generations, workplaces, and professions. If you remember, those were the first things that we analyzed when we started. So we have different cultures living together in our classrooms. For example, again, in this very moment, we are having different cultures living together. And we had that tiny exercise at the beginning because of the age, because of the kind of student we teach, because of the macro stages, etc. But right now in our classroom, we have that. So imagine we want to promote intercultural communication with people from another country, for example, in this kind of national institutes. So, How can we help our students with reflection activities? That's my proposal. How can we help our students with reflection activities about the language and its use in natural context? Sorry. And its use in natural context regarding participants and situation. How can we do that? Very simple. Imagine you're my students. So, imagine you have to go to Seguro Social. You need your file. So, how do you ask for your file to the lady in charge of it? To the lady in charge of the archives. I have two situations. You are right there. Give me my file. I need it. Or you are right like, good morning. Can you do me a favor?
You look
I
beautiful
need my
today.
file, and I have a coffee for you. How would you arrive? Or what would you do in that situation?
Exactly approach.
So,
The way you
The second approach, okay. Another one?
First, with the sweetest approach and then with the aggressive.
Okay, first the sweetest and then the aggressive. Then, another one?
Talk to the coordinator, because the coordinator is in charge of that. And then with that authorization, you go to, they sign like a paper, and then you go to the file department and then give it the information.
Oh,
But that is like a process that you need to be patient, because in the east, you can lose your life.
Okay, that could be the administrative process. That's
Yes.
another one. Not only the give me a favor or do me a favor, but another one. Okay, another approach that you have?
Like an emotional one. And, I don't know, break down.
I need
Take
please.
Because of something,
Mhm.
not rationalize anything, but play with emotions.
Maybe. Another one? No? So, now think of the same situation. You need your file, okay? But you have, you are not at Seguro Social, but at your workplace. How would you ask for your file? You never asked for it.
via email.
Via email, You need a photocopy of your certificates. How would you ask for them?
As a secretary.
Secretary?
Very sweet, like, hey, good morning.
Very familiar.
Yeah.
In a way, sweet way. Any other? So, what is this tiny discussion showing us?
Different ideas.
Different ideas and different what?
Experiences.
Approaches, experiences, and cultural practices. Do you think that we have the same result if we ask that to American people, asking for a file in a health institution?
No, the circumstances are different.
Exactly, the circumstances are different. Are they right or wrong?
Different.
Different. Exactly, they are just different. So we are using the reflection activities and they're used in natural contexts. And you have the participants of the situation. If we change the participants, we change the cultural situation. How do you say hello to your grandmother? To your boss?
Hello, morning.
To your mother-in-law? So we change, and it's only hello, and we change according to the participants and the situation. So it's a different cultural situation. We can analyze that. Imagine with our students, with simple dialogues. We can analyze and change. Another one, problem-solving activities. So here we check the use of English in different situations. Again, we check the participants, we check the use of the language and how creative we are with that, and we check the message. Now, again, let's pretend that you are my students. But you remember, you are good students, not geniuses, good students, and very participants, even if it is early morning on a Saturday. Yes, we are. Okay, so check this one. Here you have two sayings. one, al que madruga, Dios le ayuda. If you get up early, God will help you. And the second one, the early bird catches the worm. So I would like you to discuss in first. In the first and in the second saying, who performs the action? But who has the credit of the action? Yes? It was who has the, let's say, who is blamed, let's say, for the results. And in your opinion, why do they have these different approaches? Okay? So as you are very energetic and active, you are going to stand up and find a partner. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up, stand
So I think that we're going to take this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now you can return to your seat. Okay, let's discuss together. So, in the first one, if you get up early, God will help you. Okay? So, who performs the action in the first one?
Oh, you do.
You get up early. And in the second one?
You.
Okay. You're the bird. You the bird. But who has the credit of the action?
In the first one, God.
In the first one, God. And the second one?
You.
The bird or you? And in your opinion, why do they have these different approaches?
Values or work ethic.
Uh-huh.
The culture.
Okay, so
Cultural
can you
difference.
elaborate a little bit more? Yes?
Like in the first one, there are things you cannot control. So you have to trust in fate or in destiny. And for the second one, well, you make it happen.
Okay.
We also discussed that, well, the first one is a Mexican saying. So we Mexicans will always blame others
Okay.
about what we do, or we do like our part, but then we say like, well, but it's because somebody else didn't do what they were supposed, so we always blame others. And the other is the American saying, so Americans always tend to be like individualists, and they said, well, if I do something, it's my own responsibility.
Okay.
Both are good examples of the way we culturally express taking responsibility or avoiding taking responsibility. It's like, I don't know, like, se me olvidó, like, I didn't forget it, it happened to me. Or, I don't know, it's just cultural
Excuses.
expressions of the way we process information.
Okay, good. Excuses. Another one? And why do we have that idea? You were saying something important. Sorry, your name?
Nayeli.
Nayeli was saying something important. That is talking about the idea of I'm not the one doing that. It's not my responsibility as, sorry, your name?
Jose Luis.
Jose Luis said. And I have a supernatural power as, sorry, your name? Paola said. So why do we have that idea?
Not practical.
Sorry?
We are not practical.
We're not practical, but why? Let's
Avoiding-
think a little bit.
Avoiding responsibility or think so.
Tradition, why tradition?
Because we grew up in a specific.
Our
Yes.
parents and their parents and the grandparents.
It's inherited from generation to generation.
Why?
Communication.
And what is behind that? Let's dig a little bit more. Culture, something that happened many years
Yes,
ago.
I know.
Still defines us, right?
Sorry?
Something that happened a long, long time ago still defines us.
Yes, what is that event?
The conquer.
Yes, exactly. What happens there?
The Spanish came to impose a certain culture and then we adopted and it's been
Exactly.
repeated.
It's repeated in Mexico. But what?
Actually, it was a mix of cultures.
Yes.
Yes. And what happened with that mixture?
Oh.
Yes.
Well, you
Elaborate.
create something different, it's not the original thing, it's something completely new.
And you
It
create
can
a
have
new culture was
characteristics
created.
of it.
A new culture, exactly. A new culture that has what?
Religion.
Religion. And a different way of taking care of what Jose Luis said? Responsibilities, and what Nayeli said? It's not my fault. Blame.
Avoiding.
Exactly. So if we check everything together, we have a different culture. On the other hand, what happened? Some of you said, I don't remember who, but it was this way, who said that this is the American saying. So what happens in the States?
It's different. Their history is different from us
Mhm.
because they went, they traveled from England or I don't know, Ireland to USA in order to live their life, to
Mhm.
take responsibility and to do their
own.
to achieve their goals. It's different.
Well,
I think
if
so.
I don't mistake, they came over because of religious reasons.
Exactly, religious crisis, good.
Not only that, we actually call them, well, they call themselves pilgrims. I mean, that's
Mhm.
exactly what it means. They traveled for a religious or a divine purpose.
Mhm.
And they didn't mix with the local culture.
Good, that's another point.
Okay.
They didn't mix. And what else?
And they start they settled in a new territory, so that will be like the war. Like the first one to arrive gets
The best.
the best, right?
Okay, so they were immigrants. They were not real. It was not a conquer.
They
were not-
conquered.
Yes.
They were conquered, but they conquered.
Mm-hmm.
They basically tried to impose what they
Okay.
to the natives, which
Mhm.
happened to us. That's what happened to us.
And what? But there's a difference. Sorry, your name?
Okay.
As Jorge said, there's a difference.
But they didn't mix at all with the.